it was 2019. One of the frustrations I think that I alluded to earlier in kind of my role is, everyone says access to capital is the hardest thing. And I think it is for a lot of people. But I was working with, did you ever meet, do you know Brett Orchowski?
Sure.
Yeah. So I was working with, I don't know if Brett told you the story, but I was working with Brett. He was over at Utica University.
Yeah.
And we were just, we just, same thing with you. We'd go out to dinner and how are we going to solve the world's problems, you know?
He's that kind of guy. And I really love Brett.
He is. And we, after a couple of beers one night, we had this idea. We're like, we're going to start our own micro venture fund, right? And we're like, how hard could that be?
Hard.
It was hard, right?
Period.
And so we started like really small, and we thought like, okay, we're gonna cut $10,000 checks. Mm-hmm. And the idea,
I kind of remember this.
Yeah, the idea was like we're gonna take a small equity position because we just that's what people maybe wanted, and we just got people to write us $1,000 checks, right? And we started with like $10,000 or something like that, and we're just like, this is gonna be a home run, right? And the idea was to open source it, where like, we'll give you all of once we got a couple under our belt, we'll give you user the term sheets that you can download and adapt, the WordPress template that you can. So if you want to have a North Utica fund, all you got to do is find 10 friends with $1,000, and here's all the spin it up, right? And if you want to have a whatever, and that was the idea. And this was to your point of, would you invest your own money? It was really hard because we would have people that would apply, and we'd meet folks, and it is it's one thing for me to sit here and complain about the system and be like, this sucks and we need this solution to it. Yeah. It is a completely different world when it's your money.
Yeah.
I remember immediately going to I'm so much more risk averse than I was an hour ago. You know what I mean?
Or you just see things in a really different way.
Yeah, because it's, And so I've not been on, I wouldn't say I've sat on both sides of those tables, but I do have a bigger respect, I think, for folks that are on that lending side. I did not understand it.
Yeah.
It is difficult.
I do think that empathy is something that I try to bring to a lot of the conversations that I have in the public space, because I think people do complain about access to capital. People have been complaining to me about access to capital for over a decade. And the struggle is real, but the struggle is real on both sides.
It is, absolutely.
And for, every venture capitalist has hundreds of people coming at them with business plans and ideas and things that are half-baked and things that are more baked and maybe things that are very baked but very not scalable and everything in between. And so it's nearly their full-time job to say no.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to see 100 opportunities for the one deal that they can do.
And it sucks to say no to people.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You have to get good at that. And you have to get good at receiving no. So,
and by the way, we got burned on right out of the gate, and we're like, oh my gosh, to not have a base hit the first time was debilitatingly this. And we started right before COVID shut down, so that was a whole other thing. But
you can't predict that.
You can't. But but I understand that's a really hard. That was the human part was hard too, because you also might have some of the financials. That's why I think this is what Goodbread's doing is very unique, because there was the Spidey Sense too, right?
Yeah.
And what I think you're trying to replicate is the Spidey Sense.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. This is where Seth and I started. He's an early stage venture investor with 20 years of experience doing hundreds or thousands of deals, and I haven't done hundreds or thousands, but I've done tens of deals as a venture investor in a family office, and then through the angel investment fund, and you get a feeling. Yeah. And how what?
But you just get a feeling.
But so how did we get the computer to get the feeling, right? So that's
what you're trying to do.
Yes, that is where we started.
That's very
with
cool.
what we're trying to do.